everybody.
Oh, hello. I'm just
If you're on
stretch.
YouTube right now, you can see Alyssa wearing the Ripening t-shirt,
I'm
the
just
merch from my
stretching.
album.
It's just really casual.
A true supporter.
This is not weird, right?
Friend.
Oh yeah, just check out my chest. Anyway,
Dude, seriously,
seriously, this is the softest, cutest T-shirt I own, and I'm not fucking just saying that. Like I'm not. You need to run, not walk, to Molly's Instagram to link her link. Wait, do you have an actual like
yeah, just mollycottrell.com.
mollycottrell.com. Get yourself some merch. This shirt is so fucking cute. She's got a hat. She's got a hoodie. She's got a tote. She's got
there's a lot. Oh, a windbreaker.
Right?
The jacket's actually really nice.
Come on.
Yeah, guys, and there's more coming as my songs trickle out. I have some really beautiful jewelry pieces coming.
I'm so fucking jazzed.
But Alyssa, thank you. You're a true best friend and supporter.
Thank you, Molly. Thank you for gracing us with your talent and some good ass merch because damn.
I'm glad they're soft. Yeah, the color looks good too. I want one now.
I know. I was thinking about what color, but like the cream was just like, anyway.
Yeah, the cream. Yeah.
If you love shopping and you love Molly Cottrell, get yourself some merch. Okay.
Support. All right. Anyway, back to why you guys are really listening.
Why are you really listening?
We don't know.
Don't let her merch be a missed connection. Speaking of missed connections.
Beautiful. I see what you did there.
So stupid. We're going to be reading some funny misconnections and funny and actually kind of sad misconnections. Like, have you ever like gone through that before, Molly? On, like,
no.
Craigslist?
And I actually, when you had the idea for the episode, I was like, I mean, I knew vaguely like a misconnection, just like someone you connect with for a minute and never see again. But I had never like looked through misconnection threads or articles, and I had never really thought about like my own in depth. And then, yeah, you were like, well, it doesn't even have to be romantic. It could be just like anything. And then, so yeah, I hadn't read through these threads before, but I'm fascinated by it because I'm fascinated by human nature and like the amount of people on this planet, because there are so many millions of people, you can have real connections with a lot of people. Yeah. And at the same time, it's very rare. So then when you do have like a unspoken, like instant, deep, inexplicable connection, it's just like so fascinating to me because you can have those and then never see that person again. And it's like, and then people end up in marriages with people they don't feel that with. And it's just like, wow, humanity is fascinating.
And it's like what they pick up on and what they remember of that person. It's so fucking fascinating. And we found like a bunch of different ones that we'll be reading from like, I tried to find like good ones from like LA, but there was just some that were in different areas that I just couldn't not add because it is rich storytelling. Also, it's like, how are these people like amazing writers? Like some of them are just like, holy shit.
Right. They're like the most, it's like how every romantic comedy was ever written.
Yes. But I want to hear like, do you have like a little misconnection yourself, Molly?
I was like racking my brain, and then this one instance came up though, because I was like, I don't really know. I was at a friend's dinner, like brunch for a friend was having, and there was a waiter there that like the entire time I instantly like I saw him, I thought he was cute, but then we like made eye contact, and for the entire brunch, like he was taking pictures of our group. We were in a separate room because it was like an event. So he was in there with us a lot, and he was like taking pictures of us, and it wasn't like we kept catching each other's eye. Like we were intensely like looking at each other the whole like 2 hours or something. And then like he came around and was taking all our orders, and I was just like, this is like very mutual. It's not like I'm just staring at this person. Like it was like prolonged eye contact, and like I would just catch him across I don't know. And so then when we were leaving, the whole group was leaving, and we got up and we're out front, and he was like taking a group picture of us, and I kept getting the feeling that like he wanted to come up to me, and they were like we were all standing around talking, and he like kind of came over, and then had to like go drop some drinks off, and then we were leaving, and I was like walking away and like kind of looked back, and then he was like looking out, and I swear to God, I know both of us were thinking that. And that was the one instance that came to mind where like we didn't even, I don't know his name, like we didn't exchange numbers or anything, but it was that connection with someone where it was like fleeting, and I know it was mutual, because that's the thing to me. I was like, you know, it has to be for a misconnection to feel that strongly. And then just it has to go both ways. You know what I mean?
It's so
whether or not it like
crazy
comes back or turns in. And I never saw him again. I never like nothing.
How long ago
but the
was
fact
this?
that it stuck in my mind is like interesting to me.
How long ago?
Years ago. I don't even know. It was in LA, but it was like years ago. And the restaurant, I don't even know if it's like still there after the pandemic. But yeah, it was so strange, and it was like so different from when you just like, you know, someone thinks you're cute and you think they're cute. It wasn't that. It was like something more, but I never spoke to him. So funny.
Oh my God.
How about you?
He could have been your baby daddy.
It could have been.
Or
Could
the
have been,
worst
but it
person you've ever met in your life. He has like bodies in his closet. I had like little ones. Like I don't even have like a clear memory of what happened, but I have this one image in my head. So this was when I was like 13. I had like hung out at a cousin's house in Jersey somewhere, and she had this neighbor, and I'll never forget his name. His name was Carl, and he's around the same age, and he was so cute. We were just like playing outside, and then, you know, he was there. So we were just like all hanging out together. And I don't know what we were just like hanging out. I don't know what the day consisted of, but it was just my cousin and him and maybe another friend. I don't know. And I was just like, I had fallen in love. Like he was so handsome. And the reason why I remember that is because I had a camera and I had taken a picture of him. We were just hanging out on a couch, and I just took a picture. So and I still have the picture. It's so creepy. He's like 13. It's like Alyssa. And it's like, that. We just spent that day together, and we didn't like, we were 13. Like there was no like fucking Facebook or anything, or even MySpace yet. It was just, that was it. And like my cousin had moved, so I couldn't like go to her house to see him again. And she didn't really know any updates on him. But I'll never forget. And we both, it was like mutual too. Like he was feeling, it was like two 13-year-olds that like fell in love, and it's just like, it was so pure and wholesome. I'm always just like, I wonder what happened to him.
Is it like something about our souls? Like, I wonder sometimes in these instances, if it's just like your souls recognize one another.
Yeah.
Maybe they've known each other before, but it's like mutual recognition. And then if there's not always the need to like be in this life with one another because you don't see each other again, but it's like you just like, it's like you see someone, you know, and you're just like, you feel it and you're like,
yes.
And then you just move on with your life. It's so fascinating.
I know, it's so fascinating. Like what makes you not pursue it too? You're just like, it's kind of like it was meant to be in that moment. And then nothing else. I don't know.
Yeah, I know, because then there are the times where like you do, I guess people who put out these misconnection ads are trying to pursue it. But like in general, it's like, yeah, it's crazy. I also think that like I can think of a date I had one time it was a first and only date. And so I don't know if this counts because I wasn't really into him like romantically or like physically attracted. It was just, we met up and we hit it off, and we were like going for coffee, and then that turned into a walk, and then it was dinner time, and then we got dinner, and then I went over to his place, and we just like talked and listened to music and hung out for a couple more hours. It turned into like a 12-hour date, and the conversation was incredible. We hit it off over everything. That being said, I had no interest in like dating this guy. The whole time I was like, I don't feel anything for you like that. I'm just connecting with you as a human. But he did. He was like, I could tell, and he wanted to see me again, and he was like very, you know, very into it. And at the restaurant too, our waitress came up and she's like, is this a first date? And we were like, yeah. And she's like, oh my God, I thought so. We've all been, her coworkers, like, we've all been talking about this is going so well. You guys, this is going so well. So like, it was an incredible date.
Like servers, because we know what that's like, because we've seen so many dates that are just like either they're okay, they're fine, but like literal tornadoes. So the fact that you got the server stamp of approval, like.
Right. And her coworkers too, like everyone noticed we were just like enthralled in conversation and like laughing, and it was amazing. And I left and I don't even remember if we kissed, maybe, but like I went home and it was like 2 a.m. after we had been listening to music and hanging out at his place. I went home. He wanted to see me again and I was like, yeah, okay. And I never saw him again. I didn't really want to. And that's what's weird is like, I had a great time and it was one of the longest and like best conversation, but I didn't feel like needing to see him again. And then I wonder if in his mind, if he was feeling that way and did want to see me again, if that's like a misconnection to him, or maybe he ended up feeling the same way I did. And I don't know. It's just weird. Like you can really connect with someone and then like move on with your life.
Have you ever seen the movie Before Sunrise?
I don't think so.
Oh God, you would love it. And anyone listening, if this is like, it's like a movie that is about a misconnection, but not really, because there's 2 more movies, but it's like so gorgeous. It's like 2 people meet on a train in Vienna, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time, top 3 favorite movies of all time.
Really?
Yeah. And it's just, they spend the day together and then they make a plan to see each other, I think a year from there. And then like, I won't spoil. Like but every movie takes place in like, the second one's like before sunset, and then the third one's before midnight or after midnight, and it's all takes place
all that same day.
Yeah,
interesting.
In like one day. It's
I like that.
Fucking romantic, and just like the conversations that they have are just so fucking gorgeous. But anyway, I digress. We're gonna read some fun missed connections that are wild, romantic, hilarious, and weird.
Dive in.
I'll dive in with this first one. I'm trying to remember what this one is about, but whatever. Okay, ready? Cue the music. We were both pacing outside of the liquor store at 9 a.m. waiting for it to open, sweating buckets and just barely keeping our panic attacks at bay. You were wearing an oversized tee and some period-stained sweatpants.
Yeah, okay.
I was the tall, skeletally thin ghoul with the patchy beard, facial scars, and prison ink, dressed like the kind of man who buys all of his clothes at the military surplus store. I gave you a cigarette. We didn't mean for our hands to touch, but we were both shaking so hard we couldn't help it. I wanted to ask you out then and there, but I recognized we both had the same priorities. As the owner opened the door, we rushed into the store like it was a fallout shelter and the bombs were about to drop. I got to the counter first. Pint of Zelko and keep the change, I screamed as I slammed a handful of sweaty quarters on the counter. As I stuffed the precious cargo into my pocket, I heard a sound so beautiful that I believed God gave me ears solely to hear your voice. And if I was struck deaf in that very moment, I would not be angry, for they would have served their purpose, and your words would have been the last I'd ever hear. I'll take the same, but I need the change. I looked back at you as you grabbed a handful of crumpled $1 bills from the band of your sweats. With the ferocity equal to mine, slapped them on the counter. Our bloodshot eyes locked. I smiled and showed you my blackened teeth. You returned the gesture and showed me yours. I never saw you again. I'm sure you're not reading this, but I'm raising a glass for you, the one that got away. Cheers.
That one is so heartbreaking. Obviously, they're like addicts, like fiending for their net, like waiting for the liquor store to open, and then they are like bloodshot eyes, and they're sweaty, and they're in withdrawals, and they have black teeth. Yeah. Like I don't know if they're on drugs or what, but it's like recognizing. Actually, when he said, I wanted to say something right then and there, but I recognized that we had the same priorities. I had 2 thoughts. One was like, maybe he's just talking about like, I don't want to say anything because all we're concerned about is when the store opens. Yeah. But also I was like, maybe he also means like, I can't start something with someone who has the same problems that I have, like the same addiction I have.
Holy shit. When I was reading that, I didn't even fucking realize that. Like, I am literally like, I can't believe I missed the fucking whole part that that the whole priorities, that the reason why he didn't he didn't even try anything was because he didn't want it to be too much.
Right.
That's fucking
so interesting.
Yeah.
And like the whole, like, you find yourself in someone, like the sound of her voice he loved, and like, I showed you my black teeth and you showed me yours, and it's like you just see somebody that the rest of the world just like dismisses or thinks is ugly or doesn't pay attention to, and you like see that person and you're like, you're like, I understand you.
Yeah, exactly. You see yourself in that person.
Yeah.
But is that the reason why? Yeah, that's the very reason why they couldn't have continued. That it was just had to be in that moment.
Yeah.
Oy.
This one. Okay, this one's funny.
Picture. That's just for
Hi,
us.
you left your 36 value pack of condoms and your organic multigrain whole wheat bread at my farmer's market table this past Saturday, January 14th. You included the receipt for the condoms, which both shocked and delighted me. I really had no idea condoms were this expensive. Shocked because although these look like really good ones, they set you back almost $40. Delighted because if no one claims them, I'm exchanging them for 4 tubes of Maybelline Great Lash Mascara, a true classic, which it is, and some sunscreen. I didn't see you, nor did any of my employees, but I imagine you to be male, born in the 90s or 2000s, optimistic yet cautious, health conscious yet carb loving, maybe a long distance runner, would make sense in the stamina department as well. Or maybe you are in a band. I asked around, but nobody was admitting anything to me. I learned that people don't appreciate being asked if they've misplaced their condoms, and really I was just trying to help and bust your balls, but only a tiny bit. I just feel like if I ever spent $40 on condoms, never, and $6 on a loaf of bread, always, and then lost them while buying a $7 juice, I'd be so mad. So let me know if these are yours. I'll bring them this weekend to the market.
And I love it. Like this person included a picture of the condoms and shit.
Yes, they did. It's so funny because it's like, it really does say, now you could be wrong about what it says, but it for surely says a lot about someone, that it's like organic whole wheat bread and a value pack of condoms. Like, not that I can know who you are, but like it says a lot somehow. And it's so funny because it does say like, okay, you're cautious and you're health conscious, but you're also trying to fuck. But
health conscious,
I don't
carb loving.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah,
Also, the end, I love at the end, if I ever spent $40 on condoms and $6 on a loaf of bread and left them there spending $7 on a juice, I'd be pissed.
Yeah. The person's very perceptive and kind. Like this is, if not a good friend. Okay, this one's short and sweet. It's titled, "You took a photo of me with cell phone." I was walking my little dog along the street. You drove by slowly one direction, came back to say hello, and I turned to face you and said hi. Then you raised your cell phone, took the photo, and said, If you see this, I would love to meet you and see where it goes.
Okay, I have questions because I'm like, okay, so someone's walking their dog. Someone drives by slow, turns around, comes back, says hi, and busts out their phone and takes a picture of me walking my dog. Would you not feel like, what the fuck?
I feel like this person has like a fetish, like a little kink, like a humiliation kink.
Like someone turns around and then takes a picture of you. I was thinking at first it was like, it said you took a picture of me with cell phone was the title. And I thought maybe someone had said like, hey, will you take a picture of me and my dog? And then that was the person who took the photo. I thought it was like, I asked you to take a picture. No, someone just came up to you and took a picture of you and drove off. Like that's sketchy. Oh, and the fact that they said, and then just drove away.
It's like, what the fuck?
Oh my God. Okay.
This is for you. This is for you, Molly.
Okay, here we go. I already was noticing some similarities. Okay. How am I, it's called Missing New Music. How am I supposed to know what's new and hip? Male, 47, seeks female, Aquarius, year of the rabbit, cuspy dragon, which is funny because I'm an Aquarius, year of the dragon.
Yes.
Missing friends, missing work. Ready for the script to flip and cast all of this nothing behind. But I really need a reason. Can you be that reason? So this isn't even like a misconnection. This is like literally calling out for an Aquarius female that's a year of the rabbit on the cusp of the dragon.
I mean, Molly.
And he's 47. He's within my age range. Is he? How old am I? Yeah, he's in there.
Fuck it. Fuck it. I think I think this is you. I think you're the missing link for this 47 male looking for some new hip music and ready for the script to flip and cast all of this nothing behind. It's like so depressing. It's like, what's going on?
Like you're literally looking for a reason to like abandon your entire life, and you just need someone to say that they'll be that reason. That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, but how refreshing is like he knows exactly what he wants, and a fucking Aquarius. Like,
and the fact that it's so specific, year of the rabbit, cusp dragon. Like, that's very specific. I don't fit into that then because I am the dragon.
Yeah. All right.
Okay,
here we go. It's titled "Two Girls Arguing with Each Other in Line at Chase Bank Before 8 p.m." I felt so bad. I wanted to turn around and tell you guys to chill, LOL. I was the Hispanic dude in front of both of you wearing black shoes, shirt, pants, and black hat. I hope you were wearing a shirt and pants. This post really is for the girl who was to the right of me at the ATM machine. You are damn cute and probably taken. Well, at least you have an admirer, even though you were a bit catty. I remember one of you saying you were going out and then the other asked where. And that's where it all started because the answer was, don't worry about it. It then turned into one saying, I won't ask because that's your life, or something along those lines. You girls made my night. But the girl to the right with a gray or blue shirt and wavy hair, hit me up if you want to maybe get some coffee or boba and talk about how much she annoys you. LOL.
Oh my God. What I'm almost more interested in than these misconnections is hearing about the ones where that person like read it and connected.
Yeah.
Like, does anyone ever read these and they're like, oh my God, that was me?
I mean, I doubt they were even paying attention to this like weird dude around them.
No. That wasn't even like yeah, see, then it's like, what's a misconnection? Where you connect with someone or where you just see someone that you wish you had connected with. But then my friend in college, shout out Liz. She listens sometimes. Liz, if you're listening, this is for you. She always, you know that James Blunt song? The one's like, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. And he's like, I saw your face in a crowded place. It's basically about a misconnection. Like he just locks eyes with this girl on the subway, thinks she's beautiful. They don't speak, like, and I don't know what to do, and I'll never be with you, and like I'll never see you again or whatever. And Liz was like convinced that it was her. She's like, I connected with this guy in the subway one time, and he kind of looked like James Blunt, and I think that song was about me.
Iconic. Oh my God. Oh my God.
So maybe that's a real misconnection there too, and it turned into a charting song. Okay,
Manifest Destiny. We're gonna try and get both of them on the show and get right to the fucking nitty gritty about what that song's about.
Have you ever seen this girl?
Yeah, be like, yeah, it'll be a surprise when we have Liz on. We're like, well, Liz is here, and then, oh my God, that's fucking amazing. Oh, okay. This one is literally the best thing I've ever read. Molly, have fun with this.
Okay. It says, you was the ultrasound tech at Bronson Cox Hospital. Okay. It was Thursday night. I had a UTI. And you was like Hermione from Harry Potter with your ultrasound wand, cast a spell on me. I was there with my boyfriend, but wouldn't, oh, sorry. I was there with my boyfriend, but would leave him for you. Cause you know how to work it, girl. If you want to go get McDonald's sometime, hit me up. Tell me about how big this cyst on my ovary was so I know it's you. I'm dead. You was like Hermione from Harry Potter with your ultrasound wand and cast a spell on me.
I'm so fucking dead. Let me know how big the cyst on my ovary was so I know it's you.
I I'm so dead.
And I love this is a seemingly could be bisexual, but straight woman that's like, fuck my boyfriend.
Yeah. Also, if you want to go get McDonald's sometime.
Romance. They say romance is dead, Molly.
It's still alive.
All right, we're trucking
what's
along.
the next?
Okay, this one's called To the Girl Who Attempted a B&E This Morning. Hi, I am the guy whose house you tried breaking into this morning around 9:30 a.m. in Moore on Gale Street. Our conversation was short. You only said, oh my gosh, as you saw me staring back at you through the door blinds. Still, I feel we made a good connection, separated only by inches, the door and the two locks you were trying to pick. I gave you 15 minutes to make your getaway. You're welcome, by the way. I don't know if you were with a professional crew, but please don't try to break into my house again. I'd hate to shoot your cute freckled face. However, if you're up for a legal encounter, I'm game. You know the one.
You know the one. You know the one. Oh my God.
That sounds like a gorgeous movie. Like, just fun.
What is?
Like, that one just sounds like the beginning of a movie.
Yeah.
Just like,
yeah, it does.
A girl down on her luck trying to pick a lock, and he's just like,
oh my God.
Don't make
This
me
also
shoot
reminds
you.
me of a Prince song, because there's one that I don't even know what the line is. He talks about, he's like, we'll go down to the place with the red door or the place with the green door. And then he goes, you know the one. You know the one.
This guy is clearly a Prince fan and romance.
This one, Edwards, Alhambra. Sunday movie night. You, an Asian natural beauty. Your man, injured. Myself, injured. He walked with a cane. I didn't. He stepped away in the middle of the movie, and I wanted to make a move on you, but the movie was too good. Tell me what movie we watch. What?
Why are they both injured?
Tell me what movie we watch.
And are you just like assuming that she'd be into you because she's with an injured person?
Right. And also it made me think, is this like a bunch of old people? And he's like, your man injured. Myself injured. He walked with a cane. I'm like, is this a bunch of old people that are just like watching a movie?
Who knows?
That's hilarious.
Okay, this is gonna be the last one, and this one is fucking crazy. I'll try and make this fast, because it kind of continues towards the end, but I'll make this fast because this is just a gorgeous story. Enjoy the story, everybody. Get comfortable.
Yes.
It's called I Met You in the Rain on the Last Day of 1972. I met you in the rain on the last day of 1972, the same day I resolved to kill myself. 1 week prior, at the behest of Richard Nixon and Henry Kissinger, I'd flown 4 B-52 sorties over Hanoi. I dropped 48 bombs. How many homes I destroyed, how many lives I ended, I'll never know. But in the eyes of my superiors, I had served my country honorably, and I was thusly discharged with such distinction. And so on the morning of that New Year's Eve, I found myself in Barron Studio apartment on Beacon and Hereford with a fifth of Tennessee rye and the pang of shame permeating the recesses of my soul. When the bottle was empty, I made for the door and vowed upon returning that I would retrieve the Smith & Wesson Model 15 from the closet and give myself the discharge I deserved. I walked for hours. I looped around the Fenway before sneaking back past Symphony Hall and up the Trinity Church. Then I roamed through the Common, scaled the hill with its golden dome, and meandered into the charming labyrinth divided by Hanover Street. By the time I reached the waterfront, a charcoal sky had opened and a drizzle became a shower. That shower soon gave way to a deluge. While the other pedestrians darted for awnings and lobbies, I trudged into the rain. I suppose I thought, or rather hoped, that it might wash away the patina of guilt that had coagulated around my heart. It didn't, of course, so I started back to the apartment. And then I saw you. You'd taken shelter under the balcony of the old State House. You were wearing a teal ball gown, which appeared to me both regal and ridiculous. Your brown hair was matted to the right side of your face, and a galaxy of freckles dusted your shoulders. I had never seen anything so beautiful. When I joined you under the balcony, you looked at me with your big green eyes, and I could tell that you'd been crying. I asked if you were okay. You said you'd been better. I asked if you'd like a cup of coffee. You said only if I would join you. Before I could smile, you snatched my hand and led me on a dash through downtown Crossing and into Neisner's. We sat at the counter of that five and dime and talked like old friends. We laughed as easily as we lamented, and you confessed over pecan pie that you were engaged to a man you didn't love, a banker from some line of Boston nobility, a Cabot, or maybe a Chaffee. Either way, his parents were hosting a soiree to ring in the new year, hence the dress. For my part, I shared more of myself than I could have imagined possible at the time. I didn't mention Vietnam, but I got the sense that you could see there was a war waging inside of me. Still, your eyes offered no pity, and I loved you for it. After an hour or so, I excused myself to use the restroom. I remember consulting my reflection in the mirror, wondering if I should kiss you, if I should tell you what I'd done from the cockpit of that bomber a week before, if I should return to the Smith & Wesson that waited for me. I decided ultimately that I was unworthy of the resuscitation of the stranger in the teal ball gown that it had given me, and to turn my back on such sweet serendipity would be the real disgrace. On the way back to the counter, my heart thumped in my chest like an angry judge's gavel, and our future flickered in my mind. But when I reached the stools, you were gone. No phone number, no note, nothing. As strangely as our union had begun, so too had it ended. I was devastated. I went back to Neisner's every day for a year, but I never saw you again. Ironically, the torture of your abandonment seemed so swallow my self-loathing, and the prospect of suicide was suddenly less appealing than the prospect of discovering what had happened in that restaurant. The truth is, I never really stopped wondering. I'm an old man now, and only recently did I recount this story to someone for the first time, a friend from the VFW. He suggested that I look you up on Facebook. I told him I didn't know anything about Facebook. All I knew about you was our first name and that you lived in Boston once. Even if by some miracle I happened upon your profile, I'm not sure I would recognize you. Time is cruel in that way. The same friend had a particularly sentimental daughter. She's the one who led me here to Craigslist and those missing connections. But as I cast this virtual coin into the wishing well of Cosmos, it occurs to me, after a million what-ifs and a lifetime of lost sleep, that our connection wasn't missed at all. You see, in these intervening 42 years, I've lived a good life. I loved a good woman. I've raised a good man. I've seen the world. And I've forgiven myself. And you were the source of all of it. You breathed your spirit into my lungs one rainy afternoon, and you can't possibly imagine my gratitude. I have hard days too. My wife passed 4 years ago. My son, the year after. I cry a lot, sometimes from the loneliness. Sometimes I don't know why. Sometimes I can still smell the smoke over Hanoi. And then a few dozen times a year, I'll receive a gift. The sky will glow, and the clouds will hide the sun, and the rain will begin to fall. And I'll remember. So wherever you've been, wherever you are, or wherever you're going, know this. You're with me still.
Oh my God. That brought me to tears. That is...
I know.
What?
I mean, the resilience of this man to have gone through such devastation and trauma. And
the week, like literally a week after he dropped the bombs, he was ready to go.
I mean, like, I know
40 something years later.
40 years later.
And then
he's
like
still thinking about her.
Gets married, has a son, loses his wife and his son.
Yeah. And he still thinks
of this girl.
I know. Why did she leave?
I wonder what her life, because she was obviously in the middle of some crisis about like being engaged to someone she doesn't love. I wonder if their conversation made her have some kind of epiphany, and maybe she was like,
I shouldn't be doing
this right now.
Yeah. Or,
I don't know.
But why? She should have left her number, right?
But maybe she was just so like, it taught her some, like, I have to go do this for my life. And she wasn't really thinking about this guy as a new potential, more just like, wow, I just realized I can't marry this man, and just like ran off to end it.
That's so sad.
Wow. Life, there's just so many stories happening every day, all day long.
Yeah.
Like these moments, really powerful, strange, funny, sad, deep moments are like, you might have a day where you're just like chilling in bed, eating cereal, watching Netflix, but these things are happening every day.
Every day.
All over the world. Like, how does the world have the capacity to hold all of these stories.
And you never know.
It's amazing.
You could be talking to a stranger all day and leave such an impact, or you could be treating someone UTI and cyst on their ovaries and be
wow,
inspiring.
Those were so good. I love this.
I know. I love it. Wait, do the nonprofit because this is so good and relevant.
So this week we're doing National Lawyers Guild Minnesota. So it's the Minnesota chapter. The Minnesota chapter of the National Lawyers Guild is dedicated to supporting local protest movements and direct actions through coordinating legal support. Most recently, the NLGMN has been working to provide legal support in response to the Minnesota uprising that occurred after the brutal and tragic police murder of George Floyd. During the uprising, the NLGMN assisted with coordinating legal observers and jail support, as well as legal support for those that were arrested. If you were arrested during the uprising or a different protest and have legal questions, please see the resource page or contact our hotline at 612-444-2654. The NLGMN is honored to support and fight alongside the brave and resilient people of Minnesota in the struggle towards justice. To learn more and donate, go to nlgmn.org. Really important, obviously. Minnesota is not getting it right still, so there's a lot of they're helping with like bail for people that are unfairly arrested or arrested at protests and uprisings, and legal support. Like they said, they're doing a lot of work for the community there and supporting those fighting for racial justice. So,
and it's
a great place to donate.
Still going on. People are still protesting because Dante was just killed there, and then I mean, we'll get into it, but like everything that's been happening the last week, it's just so fucking disgusting. And and shout out Black Lives Matter as well. Follow us on IG and Twitter at the SOS Pod. We are also on YouTube, SOS with Molly and Alyssa. We're on iTunes. We're on Spotify, Google, anywhere you find your podcast. Rate and review us. It helps us reach more people. We're on Patreon, y'all. Patreon.
Yes.
So for
please
$3,
join our Patreon.
$7 or $11, you can gain access to extra footage which we've been adding, and they're really fun and little extra tidbits into our conversations, and hats and stickers and lots of love. And we're going to shout you out, just like we're going to shout out Nija Brooks and Steve Ginn for being patrons. We love you guys. What else is there to say?
I'm Molly Cottrell.
I'm Alyssa Rosano.
And here's to turning meltdowns
into magic.